What's up, guys? So I definitely was super productive today, and I cleaned out my closet. Not something I would normally do, but trying to get everything down minimally. Whatever I don't use, gone. I was going through my closet, found some cool stuff, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. First things first, I found my Dennis the Menace slingshot. Pretty cool. My best friend Brandon bought a house in Stockton before I moved to Sacramento about 5.5 years ago, and they were trimming the tree because it was going into the neighbor's yard and whatnot. And my best friend Abe and he had come down from LA and cut out 2 of these Ys, and then went to Big Five and bought the slingshot thing and tied it and made Dennis the Menace slingshots. And for Halloween at Starbucks 2 years ago, I was Dennis the Menace, and I had this in my back pocket walking around Starbucks with it. It's pretty neat. Still have it just sitting in my closet. Didn't get rid of that yet. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Could just throw it away, but I don't know. Like, somebody might want it later. I also came across some photos of my racing, so I can show you guys what I look like. So let's do that. All right, so this right here is when I was a Cat 4. This is one of my first races as a Cat 4, shortly after Cat 5. This is me racing the Lamb Park Criterium. Always off the front. Always on the front, not off the front, always on the front, pulling or trying to go for it after I've been on the front forever. This is one of my favorite photos. This is the best result I've gotten in a road race. It was 70 miles with like 4,000 feet of climbing, 3,000 something feet of climbing, but the 3,000 feet of climbing is within like a 15 to 20 mile like radius of the race. So it's like 40 miles in, the climbing starts. Pretty neat. So this is myself right here, and this is Jason Gajunk. He is now Cat 1, and he's raced like Tour Tobago and gotten to do some really cool stuff with Stork development. Now he's back on Specialized. We were Cat 4s right here. I ended up getting second. He got first. That upgraded him to Cat 3 that race, and literally within a month later he was Cat 2, and then the next year he went to Cat 1. Super strong dude, super good. He's like 23, 24 years old. This is us. We got into a breakaway on the first hill, and we had a 1.5-minute lead, which led into like a 30+ minute lead. This is us on the descent on the way back, and we soloed the whole race from the first hill and stayed away. It was really cool, and I got second place, and it was just such a great experience, like working with him, and we've been friends since. So this is like one of my favorite photos. It was awesome. All right, hometown hero. So this is Lodi Cycle Fest. This is me racing the Cycle Fest as a Cat 4 up near the front. It was super hot. It was like 104 degrees. I crashed this year, so I was up near the front, and just as I was going through the finish line, everybody was yelling my name and telling me to go, and I got fired up, and I was sitting like 8th wheel and thought it wasn't good enough, so I went super hard and hit the first turn at like 37 miles an hour and lost control and went head on into a pole and like flipped over, and it took me off the bike. I couldn't sit down and rotate my hip to pedal, so for like a week I couldn't ride my bike, which isn't that long, but I was constantly out trying to pedal awkwardly to get back on the bike because I just couldn't stand sitting at home. But I was out of work for like a week also. That was a really good photo. This is also a really cool photo I got. We did this. They don't have this race anymore, but it was like the Auburn or the Folsom Circuit race, and there was like this huge roundabout, and it was super cool. Well, like this race, I felt super strong. This is me going through the roundabout, And as you can see, I still have my plugs in my ears from my first year racing. They're at 1 inch in diameter, so they're pretty big. Still had my Livestrong glasses from 2010. So this is a roundabout that goes around. I went around this thing with a flat and like did not come out, like did not slip out. It was really cool. Got my tire fixed by the time they came around the next lap, got a free lap and got back in, and literally went solo off the front with like 500K and got caught and got like 11th place, but was really cool because it was a 3-4 race, and so getting 11th place in the 3-4s was really big to me as a Cat 4, especially after all the work I'd put in. So it's a really cool photo. I haven't framed it yet, but I'd share that with you guys. And then you guys might have seen this photo on Instagram. So this is me on the track, racing my track bike. This is my standard speed, custom steel Columbus tubing bike that I had made. It was the first of 2014 on the streets, and it was to replicate my Trek T1 that I had. It was red with a sparkle and a clear coat. It was amazing. Unfortunately, the top tube was like a 53 and it was way short, and so it didn't fit me properly, and that's a 130 stem I have on the bike. That's a 110 here, but I got a 130 on it. It was still too short. But I went out 3 weeks straight at this time here, and this is me solo lapping the field. Did really well, won first place overall 3 weeks straight, and it was a great experience, but the gentleman told me I needed a longer stem because it would cause a ruckus when I got up into the more aggressive categories. But super stoked to have this photo, and my legs were looking pretty lean there. I was riding a lot with minimal eating, and it was summer, so I was definitely putting in the miles, like 400 a week, 300. It's good stuff. And then this photo's awesome. A couple years ago, there's a picture on my Instagram. I did the Chico stage race, where it was a time trial. It was a 80-mile road race with 10 miles of gravel on both laps, which was insane. I have a picture of me on the gravel on my Instagram if you could scroll through and find it. Well, this is me at the downtown Criterium, and I was solely working for my teammate Darren Morgan, and he was in the leader's jersey by a few seconds, and I was staying on the front and chasing everybody down, and it's just a super dope shot of me hitting it hard to chase down one of the attempts. So I had to get that photo. Great photograph. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that I found these in there. They just been in like cardboard envelopes, like not on my walls. But you can kind of see how my body's changed when I was riding a lot. I'm not as lean, especially my upper body, my arms. Arms are like more poofier, and I wasn't stronger. I didn't have bigger muscle. But especially in this packet, really quick, I'll show you guys. So, I mean, this is me riding like all the time. I work like 30 to 35 hours a week at Starbucks only, and I was riding like every single day, like 5 to 7 days a week. And you can just see, like, I'm not like big, but you can just see how I'm more plump and fluff. My legs, that's not my muscle, that's just the the cushion around the muscle. They're just like, you know, they look swollen. Look at my thighs. So I always thought I had thunder thighs, but even here, when I was a Cat 4 racing, I just looked bigger. And I was riding more than I am now. Like, it's insane to see. And then that same race where I had crashed into the pole, this is me. I had done a 7-lap solo. I went solo for 7 laps, and they caught me like a lap and a half after this, and took 2 preems, and then got back in and then attacked on the last lap, and then hit the pole. I was cooked, but the pump I'm always using to rep my bike, it's like over there in between my bikes. Like, I won that pump as a preem, and it's like a $130 pump, and it's still working like 3 years later. But crazy. So that's what I had in my closet. Super random video, but I thought it would be cool to kind of show you guys some of the photos that I've bought over the last 3 years of racing and get me stoked